The holiday season is almost here. Are you ready to celebrate? There's still time to create space for overnight guests with all the comforts of home, even the surprise ones. Check out Sleep Products to make the guest room the best room, and dining solutions to help set a table that has space for family, friends, and the unexpected side dishes. Shop now by visiting in-store or online at ikea-usa.com for special offers and new items.
You or Jayla?
Yo, they want to know.
Hey. Hey.
Come on.
Hey. I want to be famous.
Welcome to Who Weekly, the podcast where you'll learn everything you need to know about the celebrities you don't. I'm Bobby Finger.
I'm Lindsay Weber.
And Peter Cook has been lying about his fiance's age.
But when I saw this headline, I was like, oh, she's older.
She was Rebel Wilsoning. Yeah, she's younger.
Us Weekly says Peter Cook's college student fiance Alba Janku is younger than he originally claimed, which is insane. If you don't remember who Peter Cook is Christy Brinkley's ex-husband,
and the father of Sailor Brinkley Cook.
And the ex-stepfather to Alexis Ray Joel. Christy Brinkley was married to Billy Joel. That's
no
like
reason
how
to talk
he's
about
even
Alexis Ray Joel.
relevant. But apparently Peter Cook has a thing for the younger woman. And it was reported that she was 21, but now it's being re-reported that she's only actually 20.
Page Six, who has been following Peter Cook's sort of creepy behavior for several years. Creepy Peter Cook has allegedly been lying about his new fiance's age. Sources say she's actually just 20, younger than his 21-year-old daughter, Sailor Brinkley Cook. This, I think, explains why he's been doing it, because he's like, I can't be dating someone younger than my daughter, but oops, he is, and is engaged to her.
I mean, somebody at these tabloids hates Peter Cook.
Still at the age of consent, whatever. Don't mean to age shame, but he made all this. He had to actively make up lies about this. He was covering his ass.
Maybe he didn't know how old
It
she
says
was.
a few weeks ago, Cook swore to Page Six through his rep that the bride-to-be was 21, despite our doubts. He even went as far as to claim a social media post of her 18th birthday celebrations at her elite British high school, posted in 2017, carried the wrong date. The post has since been deleted. So Page Six was like, if she's 21, why did she graduate this year? And he was like, oh, that's the wrong date.
What the fuck? So now, because I think he was trying to avoid this headline, which is from us's Twitter, Peter Cook's fiance is younger than his daughter. Now the story is
happening.
Way more salacious than it was before, which was sort of salacious, but couldn't be written out as succinctly as it now is being written out. And this just, after watching this documentary that I'll tell you about, this makes me feel like Peter Cook, somebody has it out for him. Not that this is not bad. It's just that somebody is really digging in their heels on this.
Well, I feel like the actual worry, he's been telling everyone that they met when she was 19 and a half. First of all, if you're dating an adult, half year shouldn't matter.
Half year.
What is she? What is she, an
year.
infant?
It's
right.
not,
so,
yeah, when you're over the age of 15, no more half years.
No
16.
more half year. So he's like, I met when she was 19 and a half. Is that a lie? You know, did they actually meet when she was under 18? I feel like maybe
because
they didn't.
Then when it goes to 18 and a half, then it's like, oh, but was it 18 and a half or was it 18 or what was it?
If you're having to worry about half years over the person you're dating and whether or not they lied about when they graduated from high school, just back out of the situation. This is going to be very complicated for you.
I mean, there's so many reasons, but yes, that is one of them. Yeah.
Anyway, they're soulmates, but they're soulmates. According to them, according to the couple, let's let them speak for themselves. They're soulmates. They're soulmates.
I mean, yeah, is it his fault that his soulmate is 19 and a half when they first met? Sorry, I hate this is the worst. This is the worst conversation. I hate it.
So what was the documentary?
The documentary that I was watching, which is so... Can someone stop beeping outside my window? No, you can't stop?
It's Peter Cook. He's like, stop talking about my girlfriend.
She's 18 and a half. Okay. My God.
When's the last time you used a half year? I cannot.
No, you use it when you're 9 years old. You remember? It's it's my half birthday. I'm 18 and a half. It's no, okay. So the documentary that I was watching last night, which was fucking great, was... It doesn't have the greatest name, but I get it.
Let's give it.
Scandalous, The Untold Story of the National Enquirer. Have you heard of this documentary? It passed me right by. It's
I feel like,
Magnolia Films.
Didn't we just get screener links for it? Yeah, I was
Yes,
like, the
that's
reason
why I
I've heard
watched
of it
it.
is because I just saw a screener
Well,
link for it. Okay.
I mean, I'm a big doc head. I feel like a lot of the documentaries I missed in theaters, I have to watch them either when they go on streaming or I track them down if I've heard about them.
It's
They
hard to
win an
find. Yeah,
award.
it's hard to find
They're
them,
hard to
yeah.
find. So we got this great email full of great documentaries from Magnolia. Shout out, thank you, and thank you. And I watched this National Enquirer doc. It was fucking fantastic. I knew a lot of it, but I didn't know the order of everything. And it's just incredible watching this news because they interview so many of the people that wrote for the National Enquirer back when it was like breaking news, because there was part of it that was like, yes, UFOs and all that bullshit, but they broke serious news. They broke all the JonBenet Ramsey stuff. They did all the OJ stuff. They put millions of dollars in reporting and breaking really kind of like important news that no one else kind of wanted dug up. They went after. And then as soon as 9/11 happened and the anthrax attack, people got freaked out and stopped buying National Enquirer, and they kind of got twisted on themselves because they were always this quote unquote patriotic brand. But then the powers that be kind of came for them, and then all the catch and kill stuff started happening. And Donald Trump used his kind of friendship with the National Enquirer against them. It's a crazy documentary, and I knew some of it, but I didn't really know the exact order of everything. You should definitely watch it.
Watch it today.
It's just like it'll change the way that you view kind of the way the National Enquirer's influence, because a lot of these people are like, we were doing, serious journalism for a good amount of time until David Pecker took over and was like already in bed with Donald Trump. And also like the paper's influence had already fallen, because I didn't remember that they had that anthrax attack at their
Me either.
At their headquarters, and apparently that cut distribution because people thought they were going to get anthrax from copies of National Enquirer. That's crazy.
And then it never went away. Well, I mean,
No.
what is the comparison? The Tylenol story.
Yes, and the other thing was that even though nobody was really reading it, like their readership dropped like by a ton, they still were making a ton of money off ads because of the placement at the supermarket. So they were like this billboard. They were serving as this like billboard, even though nobody was actually opening up the inside page. So them doing all this like pro-Trump, anti-Hillary stuff through David Pecker was a big thing. And do you know that they also like, they were paid essentially to like they were paid off to bury a ton of Arnold Schwarzenegger shit when he was running for governor?
No.
So he would not have been maybe elected to governor if they hadn't been paid internally to
He seems
suppress.
like one of those guys who's filled with untold creepy stories.
Oh yeah, people who work at the Enquirer were like, we'd been getting stories about him for years. They were all bundled up in like a little box and thrown out into the trash, and like
not
never
in the
seen
trash,
again.
not in the trash, in his safe,
Right,
in
the
his
safe.
big safe.
It was just
His inside
it's a
man
great
safe.
documentary. I don't know if I would have like watched it. It felt almost like something that you could skip over as kind of one of those like low budget, not as comprehensive documentaries, but it's
good.
Yeah, it really talks a lot about what we kind of talk about.
I'll watch it today.
Whatever. So that was good.
You're listening to Who's There, our weekly call-in show where we take your questions, comments, concerns at 619 Who Them. Today we have a lot of comments. I added a few after you.
I see you did,
added.
but some of these I'm like not excited to hear. Can't wait.
The final two are specifically like, we have to close the thread on something. Okay. First comment.
I cried at work today for the first time, and the first thing I thought of was Jen Gotch. Thank you, I guess. Crunch, crunch.
Crunch, crunch.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you cried at work, caller.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
That sucks. Crying at work is bad.
It's not fun or empowering.
No. Thanks, Jen Gotch.
I know.
It's awful the way these people just sort of infect your brain when you hear about them once.
It's our fault.
Anytime any of you cry at work in the future, not that I ever want you to, but when you do, you'll think of Jen Gotch.
You're going to be like, sucks. This is not fun at all. Okay.
Okay, next call. This is representative of maybe 100 calls. No, not
Wait,
100.
really?
But many,
I only
many
heard like a few.
people just kept on calling about this.
I get it. I just play the fucking call.
Niall Horan is Irish.
That's just the shortest one. There are so many of them, including Irish people, including British people, also people whose accents I can't place and don't want to even guess because then I'll get calls about how I got the accent wrong.
Okay, like I understand the sensitivities between Ireland and the UK, and I respect both of you. I studied abroad in Dublin, so I just want to say that means nothing. But my point is that us not knowing
Studied abroad in Dublin.
whether a celebrity is Irish or British is the same as us not knowing whether a celebrity is from New Zealand or Australia. We're just not going to remember these things. Niall Horan, I'm going to forget every time what his face looks like, what his voice sounds like, what color his eyes are, where he's from. We thought Ed Sheeran was Irish for the longest time. That is not a slam against Ireland or the UK.
From now on, if I'm not sure, I'm calling someone from the British Isles.
Yeah.
From the British Isles.
I just don't want to offend anyone from the fine place of Ireland or the UK. And I know that there's issues right now going on, but I
studied
just
abroad in Dublin.
But to be mad at us over not remembering what Niall Horan, like that is like, it's one thing if it was actually somebody important who was Irish, like Bono. What if someone's like, he's not Irish? No, he is. I know he is. Okay, I know he is.
No, I've been to the Dublin airport. There are Bono photos.
Right.
Big photos of Gabriel Byrne. Big photos of Bono.
We will not forget that Bono is Irish. Niall Horan, we were doing some sort of radio thing about One Direction and we forgot all their names. It was honestly wild to watch. All the names slipped out of my brain.
It was bad.
I was like, Louis, Larry,
we got there.
Tommy, Brendan.
We got there.
It's
Also,
just so
I
funny
like
to me.
Guinness. I drink a lot of Guinness.
No, you're making my study abroad thing sound worse than it is. Shut up.
I supported the Irish economy for one full semester.
Yeah, I know. True. I know. I went to the Once premiere. Isn't that crazy?
Wait, the movie or the play?
The movie in Ireland before it came out. I went to the premiere.
You went to the premiere of Once?
Yeah, because
and
there's
you
12...
never told me that?
Yeah, the 12 people live in
With
Ireland. And I
Marketa
somehow got invited to the
Ingolva or
premiere.
whatever?
What?
With Marketa Ingolva?
Yeah, they played at the premiere, and I remember being like, "This movie's pretty good, actually." Oh my god.
Marketa Irgolva and Glenn Hansard. You know what movie doesn't hold up? Once.
I know, but the music is still good.
The music is good, but I dare you to watch that movie in 2019, and you'll be like, "Excuse us for giving this movie a pass? No, thank you."
Was it like problematic?
It's really not. It's like shades of problematic, but that's not really the issue. It's just like so fucking boring. And I was like, I saw this movie twice in theaters and was like, I love it. Yeah, I loved it. And then I watched it again, maybe 4 years after it came out, 2011, 2012. And I was like, yes, I'm watching Once again. I love it. It's so sweet. And halfway through, I was like, get me out of here. Get me out of Once.
When we studied abroad, we all had internships. That was like part of the program. And like one girl had an internship at the movie production company that made Once. And so they were like desperate to fill the seats of the Once premiere. So they were like, please come to the Once premiere. And I was like, I don't care. What am I doing? I know nothing. I don't do anything. Like, I don't know what to do. Who knows? And I went and I was like, whoa, this is a good movie.
Yeah. I would call Falling Slowly one of the best original songs of the new century. Like the best original song winners.
Yeah. And did you know that in the musical Once, the guy that plays the guy, the Glenn Hansard guy, that's the guy that is marrying Jenna Dewan, formerly Tatum.
Glenn Hansard is not marrying Jenna Dewan.
No, the guy who plays Glenn Hansard in the musical Once, he originated the role on Broadway, is marrying
the guy who's
Jenna
playing
Dewan.
him in the musical.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Okay, that's
just a fun fact for you that I
think that might be the least fun fact I've ever heard in my whole life.
No.
The guy who's playing Glenn Hansard in the musical version of Once is now going to marry Jenna Dewan.
The guy who played he played the guy. He's not currently.
He doesn't even currently play the guy.
The guy who played the guy is marrying Jenna Dewan. I think his name is Steve.
You know, the only way that you could convince me to see Once on Broadway is if it starred Jessie J and Channing Tatum. They could do that.
But I'm just saying it's not even on Broadway anymore. Once could star Meghan Markle and I wouldn't see it on Broadway. I'm sorry. Why would it? But I don't know, but it could.
Okay, next call. Why would it? Why would it?
Take this and Campbell, I want it home. We still got time.
Hello. Stone as a unit of measurement of weight is also kind of an international who. It's pretty much exclusive to the UK and is kind of used in Ireland, but Ireland also, which where I'm from, we also kind of use kilos. A stone is 14 pounds and a pound is 2.2 kilograms. Hope that clears things up. Good form.
A stone is 14 pounds? Wow, I thought it was like 1.5 pound. Like I thought it was very like almost the same.
But I think what's interesting is the stone uses pounds, not kilos. You know what I mean?
You would think it
as
would
a
use-
unit, it's a number of pounds, not a number of kilos. That's what sort of made me think.
Well, now that this is a metric system podcast, we have to go by the metric system.
It's so weird.
Okay, wait. So again, not to bring her back into this, but if Adele lost how many stone? 3, they said? 1?
If she lost 3.
How many
Hold
stone?
on. Adele
What did they
lost
misreport? What-
stone. Let's look. Hold on.
I don't care
Adele
how
is
much.
said to have dropped a whopping 3 stone. So she
3
she
stone?
dropped 42
That's
pounds.
so many pounds.
42 pounds.
Okay, wow, that's crazy because whenever I see stone,
But it doesn't matter how many stone Adele dropped. Don't be all gaspy, shocked.
No, I just, when I see in tabloids stone, I think like it's like 2 pounds. Like
Me
I don't
too.
think
I don't
it's-
think much about
So I'm
the
like,
stone.
oh, you know, like why would they report that Adele dropped like 8 pounds? That's ridiculous. But like now my eyes are open. Again, don't care. Do not
now
care
you're like,
about Adele.
Adele
and
lost
how,
3 stone.
No, I know. But I don't, again, I need to stress, I don't care how much stone Adele lost, and I don't even care whether that's true or not. I'm just talking about seeing stone. And
Now
that's the
you
last
know
time
what
that
it
I saw it
means.
in tabloids. Whoa, that's a lot of 14 pounds is a stone. Thank you.
14
Thank you.
pounds is a stone.
Thank you.
We actually got several calls about what a stone is, so thank
That's
you.
incredible.
Thank you, our
you.
listeners from the British
And sorry
Isles.
again about Niall Horan. I really, really am sorry.
Hi, Lindsay, Bobby, long time. I was just listening to the Tuesday episode, and you were talking about Tala Alamuddin, who is Amal Clooney's sister, and there was some confusion around whether or not she was going to jail. She actually is in jail. She's serving a 3-week sentence, and then was also ordered to pay a fine and is going to have a suspended license or be barred from driving after her release. So she is actually in jail. Singapore is hardcore like that. Yeah, women don't belong in balloons. Crunch, crunch.
Women don't belong on cobblestone streets. I want to interview Tala Alamuddin when she's out of jail.
I don't.
I'm going to reach
I
out to
do
her
not.
people. Her.
That's dark. I don't
I'll
want
just send
to.
her a DM. I
No,
want to talk
thank
about.
you.
I want to talk about her memory of the cobblestone street and Love's moment. I don't want to talk
No,
about her
absolutely.
drunk driving.
Oh, no,
That's
I
dark.
don't.
I want to talk about her almost falling.
I don't want to
she
talk
do it?
about any of it.
You don't?
I don't know, but she's confirmation she's in jail. As we thought. I don't know why we were like wavering about her.
One of the articles we read was like, she's going to go to prison. It wasn't like, no, she's in jail, not prison. Minor differences, sort of like Britain and Ireland. But she was in...
Bobby!
She's in jail.
Don't get us in trouble again.
Now
We'll never
we're
get to
going-
go there. You would show.
Okay, listen to this.
Hey, Who Weekly. Just wanted to let you know that Mike Posner recovered from his rattlesnake bite and did complete his walk across America on October 18th, 2019. So, congratulations to him. Crunch, crunch. Got a lotta. Bye.
Got a lot.
Got a lot. Crunch, crunch, got a lot.
We knew
I
this.
feel like we needed to,
we needed the ending to the story.
we needed to put a bow on this.
Mike Posner, who got bit by a snake and had to stop his walk across the country, which we still don't really know why he did or how. And then he got back on his feet and finished the fucking walk. He was almost there, to be honest. So, he had to finish that thing.
He was in Colorado when he got bit by the snake. This
This is an inspiring story. I wish
he's the boy who lived.
I mean, I honestly, I don't want to take away from his achievement, but he didn't, do it for charity or anything. He just did it for himself and to be inspiring.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I was looking at this story, which is on the Detroit News for some reason, but that's where I ended up midway through his walk. So 2,000 miles into his walk,
He was like,
he
charity.
he started doing charity on a GoFundMe, and he raised like $51,000 for charity.
Cool.
Which is cool. The other
Yeah.
thing is, as we suspected, he turned this into music. He released a mixtape after he finished his walk.
Called
and
like Illinois
Going.
by Sufjan Stevens. Where
called Keep Going.
he's going to do all 50 states and just start where Sufjan left off.
But good
I'll
job,
never
Mike
forgive him.
Posner. He got bit by a snake and he kept going. Just keep
Incredible.
going. Thelma.
He got bit by a snake in Colorado.
Okay, then listen. Let's not get caught. What are you talking about? Let's keep going. What do you mean? Go. You sure? Yeah. Hit it.
Oh my God, Lindsay, did you just call Ryan Johnson Brick Guy? I am dying, and here's why I'm dying. Ryan Johnson is Karina's husband. You just had her on the show. Oh my God, that was just so funny. Women do not belong in balloons. Bye.
We know that.
We
Duh.
know that Karina's husband is Ryan Johnson. Please. We're not idiots. But so many people called and they were like, did you not know? We knew.
But Bobby, a lot of people also called and they were like, how dare you call him Brick Guy? But Bobby knows this, that like Brick is like one of my favorite movies.
Lindsay's
of
obsessed
all
with Brick. I think we've talked about this on the podcast, how much Lindsay loves Brick. It's
So
probably
I
in
just
your
want
top 5
to, so
favorite
to
movies.
me, yeah, like it's in the top 10 now. I mean, it slid because I got older. It was like number 2 or 1 when I was like slightly younger, and I broadened my horizons, not in a bad way. I just mean like whatever.
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
more movies. My point is that like Brick is like tops for me, and so like to me, I love Ryan Johnson, always have, and I have to say I'm not a big Star Wars person. So when he went in that direction, I was kind of like, I'm gonna wait for you to come through the other side. For me, like I'm excited for Knives Out because that's
Knives
like
Out, yeah.
the Ryan Johnson that I like a little bit more than the Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. But yes, we know it's Karina's husband. We just didn't want to like, that was not a topic. We went to talk about
That was
her
not a topic.
work.
We were talking about
not
Karina,
her husband's work.
fucking- What? You think women's value is
Yeah.
measured by their husband's
Yeah.
success? Excuse me. Wrong podcast. Okay. Wrong podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it was not something that was going to come up in the conversation. And I think the reason why it came up after was because of whatever. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it came up separately. I don't remember.
Brick came up because we were talking about directors completely separate from the Karina
Who's
conversation.
them's the directors?
Well, it wasn't even who's and them's the directors. We were talking about.
I don't remember
You know what?
anything
I don't remember what we talked about on the last episode. I
But
don't
we
remember
didn't
what we
make
talked
the
about at the
connection
beginning
that
of this
it's Karina's
episode.
husband. Yeah, okay.
Ryan Johnson
Sure.
is Karina's husband.
Yeah,
Both of them are whose. It's
this
fun.
is not hidden information. I think this is pretty solid information. And we probably shouldn't talk about it anymore because that's it.
Just like, it just really sticks in my craw when people call and think we don't know something.
Brick Guy, we often don't know something, so relax because they can call because we often know nothing. All right. People are like, you don't know this. It's like accurate. We didn't know that.
A really funny call that I'm not going to play it, but it's so funny and very representative of some of the wildest calls we get. That the call that I sent you where the woman is like, "Hey, Lindsay and Bobby, like, what's up? Hi. First of all, Lindsay, Jews, Nazis," and she spends 35 to 40 seconds talking about the history of Nazis, Jews, concentration camps, experimentation, the sort of like Goebbels thing, and then like how some of the scientists moved to the United States. 45 seconds. And then she goes, "Anyway, what's up with Jennifer Jason Leigh? I need you two to talk about Jennifer Jason Leigh." And I was like, oh my God.
I know how quickly we shift.
I slept in a terrible bed at one of our dates this story. I won't reveal where it was because I don't want to be super rude, but the bed was absolutely horrendous. Big dip in the middle. I was always like rolling into the center. It was so bad. My back hurt so bad when I woke up. And guess what? When I got home, my favorite part of being home was getting in bed.
Yeah,
I
you
was
were like back into
finally,
my mattress.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's a real bed that was chosen for me based on a quiz, the Helix quiz.
Right. And sometimes when people use my mattress, they're like, that's a little soft. And I'm like, yeah, it's made for me, not for you.
For you.
Which actually even drives home the fact that it's so made for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I kind of relish in the I mean, I don't want my friends to be uncomfortable, but I'm like, I kind of am like celebrating the fact that it's like for my body, not for yours.
Mm-hmm. I just sleep so much better on my own mattress than literally any other mattress. And that's because Helix mattresses rock. I wake up, my back doesn't hurt. I wake up, I don't have night sweats. I wake up and I'm thrilled. I wake up and I say, I love you, Helix.
That's
so
incredible.
If you want to experience the joy that I experience every
the
time I
joy,
get in bed,
the
and every time I get out of bed, you should go to helixsleep.com/who because you will get 25% off site-wide plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. Plus, get a free bedding bundle, which includes 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order at helixsleep.com/who. That's helixsleep.com/who.
So speaking of awards being purchased, do you think The Voice has purchased the Sexiest Man Alive award? Because that's the only explanation I can think of for Blake Shelton. And John Legend was just the Sexiest Man Alive this year. Adam Levine was the Sexiest Man Alive. Just a thought. I know they're not who's, but just something I was thinking about. Crunch, crunch.
Blake Shelton was Sexiest Man in 2017. Adam Levine was Sexiest Man in 2013, which was a little longer ago.
Mm-hmm. And those men aren't who's, but Sexiest Man Alive is a who. Fucking big ass who. Sexiest Man Alive.
This is a very interesting call.
Yeah.
It's over the past 6 years, so it's not like it's 3 in a row. We got Voice people.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a stretch, but Blake and John, I do find interesting.
I think people, though, is looking for these double whammy people to promote. So like Blake, they had Gwen to help promote like that whole thing. And now with John, they have Chrissy to promote. And also this is like
with Adam,
wife
they had
guy,
Behati.
2019 wife guy vibe. Like, ooh, the Sexiest Man Alive is a wife guy. Like we love, he's cute and hot or whatever. Like that is kind of where we are in culture right now too.
Presumably, apparently, no problematic bone in John Legend's body, which is a big plus. You know?
But it's part of me is like accusing of the Voice of using people is like, it's almost like the People is using the Voice too. It's almost even, if anything, the Voice is more popular than People's Sexiest Man Alive at this point. So like, it's kind of weird to be like, oh, they're in it. I think it's just they're looking for the same type of celebrity too.
Yeah.
Like that's more of it. It's more of like a confluence. Oh my God, what am I talking? Like convergence versus a like a kind of underhanded thing. Although you found a connection. I was thinking if they were owned by the same people, but they're not.
Yeah. So Voice is NBC, which is Comcast. People Magazine is owned by Meredith, which used to be owned by Time Inc., but now it's all owned by Meredith. Not Gray, just the company Meredith. And Time Inc. and People are, under the same umbrella. So I found this interesting connection, and honestly, it could mean nothing, but this. So I was searching within LinkedIn for people who have worked at both NBC Universal and across Meredith properties, and there's a little overlap. I found a couple people who were like, very junior, and it was like,
that's not crazy. They're both.
That's not crazy. But this woman, high up. This was the interesting thing. So this woman, her name is Karen Kovacs, and she's the EVP of Client Partnerships at NBC Universal. Okay. This is a woman who is like decades into her career. She is the EVP of Client Partnerships. Where did she work directly before this? Time and People.
Really?
For over a decade, she worked across the Time Inc. brands, including 8 years at People.
And now
what did she do there? She was fully the publisher at People.
Oh,
so
wow. Wait, and now she's at The Voice?
And now she's at
NBC.
She's the EVP of Client Partnerships across NBC Universal. So she's in the marketing.
She used to be the publisher of People Magazine. Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising that people have worked at both, but you're right. Like that is their look. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, it wouldn't surprise me that she has a relationship to this magazine and would want to promote this magazine's success and like maybe use whatever contact she has at People. Like I don't think there's anything nefarious here, but that connection is pretty alarm belly,
Yeah, I know. I just think part of me is kind of like it's not as devious as it could be. And the other thing is, I'm interested about John Legend because I feel like this thing where he's bland in some ways, but he's not bland in like political, like he's pretty politically outspoken, actually very politically outspoken. And so is Chrissy Teigen. So it's interesting to me that they went with him because of that, like that kind of reason.
Especially
like
considering Blake Shelton was like the person they chose immediately after Trump, you know, like
right,
Trump
so
was
it's
elected,
like,
they chose Blake Shelton.
They it's like they tried one side of it. They were like, we'll do Blake now because it's like that's the right time to like be like America right now. And then with that backlash, they had to like speak to the backlash. Idris Elba was last year, right? And then now they're fully shifting out like on like as Trump is like more hated universal or
a little bit out the door.
Yeah, I'm wondering. It's like it's actually like kind of controversial that they chose John Legend at this point.
Yeah, because even Idris is like isn't necessarily politically outspoken in the way that maybe, or at least as, you know, capital O online as Chrissy and John are.
I know. They
so
like don't shut up. That's like their
whatever
brand.
Idris believes, he's not out here tweeting it every day.
And look at, you know, number one, probably Trump voter, Barbara Corcoran. Sorry, love her too. But like this woman definitely, whatever. She tweeted, the sexiest man alive. You gotta be kidding me. No doubt John Legend is a phenomenal musician. But I'll tell you what makes a guy sexy. A fabulous chiseled face, eyes that communicate, I want you now. And a body that can't stop looking at. Oh my God, I hate this tweet. Hashtag
It's
revote.
disgusting. It's one of the worst tweets I've ever seen.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'll tell you what makes a guy sexy. A fabulously chiseled face, eyes that communicate, I want you now.
Now, all caps.
And a body that you can't stop looking at. Barbara Corcoran's like, who is she talking about?
I don't know.
Put her in jail for this tweet is what I'm saying. It's like, honestly, the horniest on Maine thing I've ever seen in my life.
And she's too horny on Maine.
She's too horny on Maine.
But
it's like...
But it's also a Barbara joke on Shark Tank is like anytime Barbara is on an episode, which she should be on every episode, but she's not, which is annoying. She's one of the people they switch in and out. But when someone like a Shark Tank contestant comes in and they have, their big performance at the beginning, if there's like a shirtless dude or like some guys who are remotely like hunky, sexy, it always cuts to Barbara and she's like, ooh, I like this. Like Barbara is the horny one on Shark Tank and that is like long established.
Yes.
But it's just sort of weird to see this in tweet form. Like it's one thing to see her like say literally va 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 voom when she sees a hunk. And this is like,
I mean, this is the woman who staged a funeral for her own birthday. She's got the urge to, she's got it. She's there.
She's got it. She wants it.
But it's just funny to have her hashtag revote. Like, this is what she's coming out against. Barb, like, this is not, it's funny. I guess it's funny. It's funny to take whatever. Tweeting and talking about people's sexiest man is like we should. It's our right as humans, you know.
Which is again, like you said, one of the main reasons I think that John Legend was such a draw because we all know people aren't necessarily reading magazines anymore, and
No.
I'm sure that even though People isn't as culturally relevant as it used to be in its heyday, like People's Sexiest Man Alive
it's
is
a
like
tentpole for them.
It's their tentpole. It's their one thing they can count on. Everyone on the internet talking about People's Sexiest Man. They could talk about Hoda and Jenna talking about it on Today's Show. You know, they know they're going to get press for this.
Sorry, it's People's Sexiest People issue. Don't forget they changed it. No,
well,
I mean,
did you see they do cutest babies in this now too, which is like, get out of here. That's illegal.
The whole thing is insane. They do like.
But then did you see the David
star
Harbour thing? Oh, we have to talk about the David Harbour thing.
No, I don't want to
now
talk
that we
about
bump it
David
in.
Harbour anymore. No, we only are on the first question. We have to move on.
Hello. So I have two questions, both related. First of all, I was just wondering if you could talk a bit about Kiernan Shipka's birthday party, which really infiltrated my Instagram from like a lot of interesting different angles and just like a really weird collection of who's in attendance. I'd love to like get a breakdown of like who they were and like how they're all connected because I am extremely confused and have been thinking about this a lot. Secondly, these glossy black and white photo booths. When did they get this popular? Like, I know we've been doing photo booths for a while, but the glossy black and white, like most recently Justin and Haley's wedding and then this party, and they're really becoming a them. Okay, crunch.
Let's do the photo booth question first because it's the easiest. The Kardashians made them famous.
Yeah. It's like one company it's like a photo booth, and it's kind of like meant to like just fucking filter the hell out of your face, retouch you automatically, and the contrast they use and whatever. We talked about this a while ago. This was like, but not that you should remember, but I remember.
Racked found it. The story was like 3 years ago when the Kardashians were doing it all the time.
But now everyone does it.
They're called, I remember this was on Racked. Oh, Murmur. MIR. That's the company. If you want a glam photo booth at your next event, Murmur.
But a lot of
MIR.
photo booth companies and people do the same thing now. Like they kind of got ripped off, so you can find a probably
sure
less expensive version of that. But this is the photo booth that you see everywhere now. The black and white one.
And the answer is
with
the Kardashians made it famous. Is it people doing like real-time retouching, or is it like AI retouching? Is it automatic like Instagram filter retouching? I think
it's AI filter retouching. Like it's
too smooth. It's so weird. I hate them.
It's filter. It's a filter. It's a computer.
So, but yes, Kiernan Shipka turned 20. She had a birthday party. All the Who's came.
Every fucking Who. Well, she's connected to a
children,
lot of Who's.
And then John Hamm.
Well, okay. The John Hamm thing, I don't even think that was as weird as people thought it was. Like, people were like, whoa, that's weird. It's like, it's not weird. She turned 20. Like, they're friends. I think January Jones was also invited. Like, Mad Men people were invited. John Hamm does.
He looks disheveled.
Yeah,
he looks a little disheveled and weird.
Yeah. It's more the photo of them was like, oh, okay. Like,
the
John
photo's
Hamm,
sort of yikesy. Sorry.
Yeah, but it's not a yikesy. I'm not yikes about that. Do you know what's more yikesy?
What?
BJ Novak was there.
Oh, BJ Novak. Imagine someone. I feel like I have to whisper. Imagine someone yikesier than BJ Novak.
I'm just saying, why was BJ? That's to me like the John Hamm connection. He's older than her, sure, but like that's a connection. Like that's not weird. They worked together for like a million years.
He played her dad for a long time. Also, she's like a weirdo child star. Like her friends are her coworkers. You know, like
she's 20 going on 40. You know, I mean, she's 100 years old now at this point. But the point is that that's not that weird to me. What's weird is BJ Novak. And then also I kind of was like, BJ Novak and Kiernan Shipka, like how long have they been friends? And I found a tweet from 2014 when she was
15
5 years ago. 15. She said, happy birthday to the super cool BJ Novak. And he responded, I'm cool because I know you. It's like, yeah, okay. Tell yourself that. Me when I hang out with a 24-year-old. The other interesting thing about this is that Kiernan Shipka has like some funny like nepotism-y, not her nepotism-y, but who she's associated with. She used to be dating Charlie Oldman, who is Gary Oldman's son.
Oh, we've talked about Charlie Oldman.
We did, but now she's dating Christian Coppola, who is apparently related to the Coppola family, but like is a cousin. Because all these Coppolas
they're all
now
cousins.
Like,
the Coppolas are all cousins.
They're all cousins and like nephews and nieces. Like they're not directly on the line.
Right, because it's like Jason Schwartzman, Nicolas Cage. They're not Coppolas, but they're like cousins.
So like, is this guy Christian Coppola like benefiting from nepotism? Probably vaguely, but not direct, not like as kind of obvious as like Sofia Coppola, maybe. But
yeah, but I mean the last name really helps. I mean, Nicolas Cage's last name actually is Coppola, isn't it? And then he changed it because he was like, I don't want it to seem like nepotism. As the generations went on, they were like, no, I'm keeping the last name because nepotism rules. You know?
Yeah, no, and it doesn't matter. Truly doesn't matter. And also it's just so funny when you have somebody whose last name is Coppola who lives in Hollywood. They're definitely related. Like it's not there's no stray Coppolas anymore. Yeah,
Christian Coppola is a distant relative. He's like he's not even in the main like nuclear line of
That's
Coppolas.
What I was saying. I was reading about him and I was like, he is last name he's using, but like the rest he's really not that closely connected to anyone.
But he does do film stuff, so he's like, I aspire to be like my distant relatives.
Right.
Whatever. So what else? Who else was at this party?
I mean, it was just like it was all the randoms from her Netflix show. David Dobrik, that like Vine guy.
Oh, the Vine guy.
Like,
yeah.
It was very like young Hollywood, but like a lot of people I didn't know and their friends. And then fucking BJ Novak. It was so weird. Like a very weird specific to a former child star array of people. Like you just pick up the weirdest people along the way when you're a child star.
I like January Jones's Instagram because she didn't go. She was like, I'm too old for this. But she did say, I'm missing this one's birthday party tonight. Sad face. I'm so proud of you, Kiernan Shipka, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, yeah, you're missing this birthday party because you're like conscious.
I know.
You're an adult. You respect yourself.
I know. She's like, text John, like, maybe don't go to the birthday party.
And he's like, already on my way. He's like, already in an Uber.
I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm in the bathroom. We're taking a selfie now. Want to FaceTime? And she's like, no.
I know. That's the
BJ's waiting for us in the hall.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like John Hamm and January Jones take Kiernan and Shipka out for dinner challenge. You know, like do something separate. Take her little doms for like a piece of lasagna. Like just this is not do something. Whatever, you get it.
Kiernan, invite us to our birthday party. We're like the right age.
Me responding would love to come, but it would be really hypocritical to what I talked about on my podcast.
Missing this one's birthday party. Hope it's great. Post a photo of Kiernan and Shipka on my grid.
Oh my God! Next year you should post a picture of Kiernan and Shipka and wrote missing this one's birthday party. Just you weren't invited.
I'm gonna start wishing celebrities happy birthday on Instagram by saying, "Oh, sad to be missing this one's birthday this year.
And it's just
hope
a
it's
picture
filled
of
with
them.
love and light."
You should.
And people will be like, "Wow, is Bobby friends with Zooey Deschanel? Is Bobby friends with like?"
Why Zooey Deschanel? Why is
I don't know.
Zooey
Who else am I thinking of?
Young Hollywood. You need more young Hollywood. Like
is Bobby friends with KJ Apa?
Fanning? Oh, weird. I know Bobby was friends with Lily Reinhart.
That's strange. I've never seen a photo of Bobby and Sky Jackson, but he wished her happy birthday and said he was sorry to be missing her birthday party.
Bobby's friends with Pink's kids. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Bobby was hanging out with Pink's kids. That's the one. This one. It's like Pink's daughter. Okay,
But I refer to her as. I'm sorry to be missing Pink's daughter's birthday party. I don't know the name.
Love to this one.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Can't imagine it any other way. WhoWeekly.us is a Squarespace. It will always be a Squarespace. We love our Squarespace.
Even if they said no more advertising on this podcast, we would still have it be a Squarespace because honestly, it's just the easiest, sanest way to have a website on the internet at this point.
Yeah. I really can't think of another option.
No, I wouldn't even know how to do another option at this point. It's like it is a perfect way. I know they have all the features I need. If there's a new feature that I need somehow in the future, I know that they're going to have it. Mm-hmm. Let's say there's something we need to do on this website that I can't even think of right now. I know that in the future
technology advances,
that they will have our back.
I trust that Squarespace will keep up.
Well, because right now it's like, we have our tour dates that we're able to change on a whim, which we need to. But Squarespace does plenty of other things. They've got, you could do a course, you could host a course, you could do analytics, you could do email campaigns, you can take payments, you can sell stuff. I mean, it's like we could do whatever we wanted on Squarespace, and I am actually comforted knowing that I could do that in the future.
Yeah.
So head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/who and save 10% on your first purchase of a website or domain. That's 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Hi, Who Weekly. This is Joan Summers from Jezebel, and I was listening to your last week's episode when I heard the shout out from Bobby, and I just want to say thank you for the compliment on my Vroom Vroom Get a Load of Aunt Becky's Crime Car headline, but I'm mostly inspired to call today because, as you both probably know, it is end of year. Everyone is doing their big roundups of the various things that happened this decade, the whole entire last year, yada, 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 all that content generation bullshit. So there's been something that's been bugging me for a really long time this year, and I figured you guys are probably the only people that can have an answer for this. So back in May, kind of at the height of Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas's wedding shenanigans, and all the press about their love and how happy they were, I was doing a post and saw that OK magazine issued a retraction on a story from one of their covers that said they had 152 days to be married and then they were getting a divorce. And allegedly, as the story goes, Priyanka Chopra demanded that OK print a retraction on the story, and it had to be on the very first page of OK. So my question is probably mostly for Bobby. Have you ever seen a celebrity actually issue a retraction to a tabloid? And two, is Priyanka Chopra demanding that OK magazine issue a retraction about a story concerning her marriage a who or a them tendency? I still think that Priyanka Chopra is a them. I know that that's not really the territory of your podcast, but that feels like extremely hooey behavior. You don't have, say Jennifer Aniston calling into OK magazine and saying, please stop talking about my secret love child with Brad Pitt. So anyways, love the show. Huge fan. Long-time listener, first-time caller. And then I guess, what am I supposed to say here? Oh, yeah. Women don't belong in balloons.
To answer your question, I've seen it before, and the most iconic one, and it's the one that comes up like when you search for things like this. It's when they said that Katy Perry was pregnant and that she was planning to get married, and I guess Katy got mad at it, and they fully issued a retraction. It was in print and it was online, and it was like, we were wrong about this. It's rare. It's super rare.
They're taking the chances, though. It's like they'll do the thing. Well, they'll post something. They'd rather retract and think that know that no one's going to give a shit about the retraction than not do it in the first place, because that sells tabloids. Like, it's very interesting to me. It's like they're willing to take the chance on a lot of this stuff, and because it's like people only see it the first time around, right? I mean,
yeah.
And also saying that Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra are going to divorce is just confirming what a lot of people kind of thought, or that were like snarkily thinking when they got married. So it wasn't this thing where it was like this shocking thing. It was almost confirmation bias, weirdly, so that it would go down easier in a weird way.
Yes, but to answer, I mean, is that a who or them tendency? I think it's a who tendency, because I think it's absolutely a thirsty move, because you want headlines for both, you're glad they wrote about you to begin with. Right. And you want to seem more legitimate by saying, no, I'm above this. But it's like, no, you're not above this, because if you were actually above this, you probably wouldn't have said anything. I
mean, yeah, like think about all
like
of
how
the,
many
like,
times has
tabloid...
OK said that Jennifer Aniston is pregnant and or married someone, and Jennifer
or that
Aniston's
Angelina
like,
Jolie is,
right.
whatever. Like, right. And they just stop caring. They're like, we have bigger fish to fry in a way.
Exactly.
Or at this point,
Priyanka's like, I don't have any
stuff.
bigger fish to fry. Like, I'm out of big fish. I only have little fish. That's it.
I mean, and also you have someone who is covered, who's giving a lot of stuff to the tabloids too. So she knows that she has leverage that Jen Aniston and Angelina Jolie don't, because they're not out here like pandering to the tabloids, because they don't really want to be in them at all, let alone for good or for bad things.
Do we need to talk more about Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas? It's funny how quickly they went away. I mean, everything goes away quickly in this day and age, but it's funny that like we cared about them so passionately until
it proves the only thing that we cared about them were the fact that they were getting married. Like, I even watched the fucking Nick Jonas documentary that I thought was the Jonas Brothers documentary that was pretty good. But after the album came and went, now they're, I guess, on tour or working on a different album, and she's not in anything. She's not promoting anything. Like, it's true. It's like, we kind of moved on.
I was checking for headlines about them that were like sort of recent, and the only thing I saw was that they recently reportedly spent $20 million on a 20,000 square foot property in Los Angeles.
All right.
$20 million.
Sure.
7 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, high ceilings, and ample outdoor space. This is funny. Meanwhile, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner spent $14.1 million for 15,000 square feet. It's like, wow, they're one-upping each other. Yikes.
Meanwhile, Kevin Jonas secured 10 square feet next to the 7-Eleven in Long Beach. I don't know. Doesn't he live on Staten Island? Sorry.
I thought he lived on Long Island.
I thought he lived in Staten Island. They're from
who knows?
Staten Island, whatever.
In related news, Danielle Jonas just rented a 800 square foot pied-à-terre in Chinatown.
Oh, God.
She's like, sometimes you just need to get away. She just goes there and eats like vegan meals. She's like, I don't actually like pork. I have to secretly eat vegan meals at my Chinatown flat that I keep furnished with like
what
an
a
IKEA
fantasy
table.
That you're creating for her.
Hey, babe, what's this like $3,300 I'm seeing you spend every month? Bags. Makeup, sweetie. He's like, oh, women and their makeup. It's like her place to cry. Okay.
Wow. Dark. Okay.
Okay. Next call. I love this.
Hey guys, I saw on the internet today circulating around that a guy with the Insta user Austin G. Wilson posted a very cozy photo of him and Demi Lovato with the caption "My Love," and like, who the heck is he? I have no idea. Can you guys help? Thanks. Crunch, crunch.
So who is this person? That's it.
August G. Wilson, not the playwright. whose
Yeah.
whose name is that's August Wilson. This is Austin Wilson.
This is Austin, yeah, not the playwright August Wilson.
Which I also was like, August Wilson? No, but he's like
Demi Lovato's dating August Wilson. Good for her.
That would be amazing. Demi
Is he
Lovato
dead?
is once again dating someone. He might be dating someone.
Dead.
Not. Demi Lovato was like in the tabloid, like doing press, like quote unquote dating some bachelor idiot, but not really dating him. Let's be real. That was like silly. I don't know what I care. I don't know what I like less. Demi Lovato fake dating a bachelor person or real dating this guy who is like, I'm not quite sure. Whatever. We're all very what do you call it? We're all very possessive over Demi Lovato and her and
We're
her
concerned.
general health.
We want the best for her.
Literally all of his Instagram messages or like comments are like, take care of Demi, like we love you know, from Demi fans. But she's dating this guy. He's definitely a model. Every photo that he is in is like on a shoot for X, on a shoot for Y, and his claim to fame / there's like no, I mean there's no claim to fame, but his dad was a
Nepotism. Z-boy.
Yeah, but not but this isn't the nepotism that we
Yeah, but it's just like
gets you anywhere. He's from California.
His parents are successful LA people. Like that's it. Like
yeah, and his dad is like a cool skateboarder from remember Dog Boys, the
Dogtown and Z-Boys. Yeah,
the movie. Yeah, that he's one of those guys, and this guy's he's just a cool guy.
He's clearly like when you look into him,
he's clearly a sober guy who she met via all these sober people that she's
crew
really
of
meeting.
people that she's friends with, right? Like it's
And
just a
she-
guy that's in her circle. Her like sober circle is what it looks like. Because
I mean,
is
the
he
point-
sober?
yeah.
Is that out? Like
I'm pretty sure he's got to be
think
sober.
I think he's one of her like sobriety buddies, which is good that she's hanging out with people who can especially like understand her situation. But it's like when you look into them, the interesting thing about it is that there's so little known about him that like the 5 things to know about Austin
Every
Wilson's are especially bad.
single-
All
Every
of them
single
are bad.
5 thing is just worse than the last. I mean, page 6 is probably the worst. 17's is slightly better, and Heavy's is a little better than that. But page 6 is like, can you read the 5 things? It's honestly
Page 6 is yeah.
it's
Oh, and
like
they have
he's,
6.
He's a male. Like it's literally like he has hair. It's the worst.
Number 1, he works as a model. Okay, cool, great.
Okay, we got that
Number
too.
2, he has several tattoos. A thing. Both of these
Oh my
things you can
God.
look by one look at an Instagram. He has several tattoos. Okay. Number 3, he changes his hairstyle often. Again, you just look at an Instagram photo. It's pink in this one. Who can believe? 4, again, based exclusively on Instagram, he cares about his parents because he said Happy Mother's Day. They've done this before. Number 5, he really likes taking selfies. Again, exclusively because of Instagram. Number 6, he loves Lovato. Wilson has publicly professed his deep feelings for the pop
That's
singer. The same day, the same day Lovato posted a pic with him, Wilson shared a photo writing "My love" as the caption. The feeling is clearly mutual.
Slams head against wall. Okay.
Lovato liked the post that declared their love and also wrote her own message saying, "My brackets heart emoji. Looks like things are getting serious for the new pair."
So just the worst.
My
And so
heart.
compare that to 17's list, which is 1, he's a model. 2, they met through a mutual friend. Okay.
Prob.
Which, to be fair, we also, those are the 2 things that we got. Okay, the only 2 things that we have are the 2 things at the top of this list. So fine. 3, he loves tattoos. Again, the same thing as he has tattoos. 4, his dad was a pro skater. We got
That's
that
an
too.
interesting thing. Okay.
5, he seems to be really into Demi, which is the weirdest way to write anything.
He called her my love. Like take a page from page 6's thing. He literally calls her my love. Just say he's in love with Demi.
Or just don't say that's not one of the things. Okay, and then we have Heavies, which is even a little bit more kind of specific. We have he's modeled and has for brands, like he's modeled for Civil
Here are the
Regime
brands
and
he's
for those
modeled
who
for,
sin,
yeah.
sin. That's more research than most would do. Heavy's pretty good at these. 2
This
is
is their bread and butter, yeah.
Like Demi, he was close friends with Thomas Tressel, a model who died from an overdose at age 31. So that's another very specific thing. 3, his dad, George Wilson, is a famous former skateboarder turned designer. So yeah, like if you search his dad's name now, he makes jeans, like quality jeans. And
He
was,
makes
like, in
good
Vogue
jeans.
recently.
But this is again Heavy taking the extra step and doing like one more Google.
Yeah. And then Wilson is a proud uncle to niece Tallulah Valentine, which is an insane thing to write as a bullet because it's like, okay. So
like Tallulah Valentine? Oh, is Tallulah Valentine the child of famous people? No,
He
it's
has
just
a niece.
he has a niece named
He has
Tallulah
a niece.
Valentine.
5, Wilson is super close with his mom. Okay, cool. Love that. There's photos of him with his mom on his Instagram, and that's it. So it kind of trails off at the end there, I got to say. Heavy was really trying to get in those last 2. They didn't really have enough for the last 2.
The most interesting thing about Demi, and I would say like the funniest thing about like talking about Demi's personal life, which can be filled with so much darkness, is that the Demi Lovato stay away from her meme is how everyone feels about Demi Lovato. You know,
no, truly.
Like
she
the moment
said
Demi
that,
Lovato's
but
with
I
someone,
feel the way about
she's
her.
right. She's the one who said it, but we still feel Didi Lovato stay away from her every time we see someone with Demi Lovato.
Also, like, the Demi Lovato fan community, the Lovatics, is truly like a wild place to be. Like, I was there for 4 minutes doing a little research on this, and I came across Demi, like, she opened her own secret meme page and was like responding, and then the fans found out that it was her doing the memes. Then she got mad and stopped doing them. I don't know. Now she's like on Will and Grace. I mean, Demi is just like Demi-ing, you know? Miss Lovato, Poot Lovato. Can you play the Jeopardy clip here, please?
Poot, yeah. Wait, let's play it right now.
Okay.
You
have to kind of describe it. Well,
so
actually,
I can describe it.
Very visual.
So this is a Jeopardy clip posted by Weekend 3 Warrior on Twitter, and
yes, Weekend 3
and
Warrior.
it's Weekend 3 Warrior.
Okay, sure.
And it's the 400.
Can you read his caption?
The caption is, Demi really can't catch a break. I'm deceased. And so here's the $400 question popping up.
$400 question. This is like low.
In 2013, this young actress and singer had a bestseller with Staying Strong, a book of affirmations. Lindsay?
Who is Selena Gomez?
No. Who is Demi Lovato?
And they showed a photo of her. It was like, it was
Demi Lovato looking happier than you've ever seen her, smiling, face on the camera. Like, you look at that and you're like, that is undeniably Demi Lovato. That is Demi Lovato, Demi Lovato, Demi Lovato, Demi
clearly
Lovato.
Demetria Lovato. We know Demetria. We know what she looks like. It's Demi Lovato. $400.
Selena Gomez?
No.
Wait, to be fair, the comes from Weekend Warrior himself. I'm assuming it's he, but that is my favorite part of the video.
No.
Is whoever's filming it just spitting out their water when she says Selena.
God, we talk about Demetria Lovato so much. Do you remember? Can you pop quiz? Who was Get a Job, Stay Away from Her? Who was Get a Job, Stay Away from Her directed at? Can you remember? The answer's really easy if you think about it.
Oh my God!
Do you know?
It wasn't like her sister. It was like another famous person.
No. Well, famous to certain people, but not.
No, I don't
objectively
even
famous.
remember.
Stalker Sarah.
Oh my God.
It was at Stalker Sarah.
But who was Stalker Sarah posing with in the photo that she said, get a job, stay away from her?
She was hanging out with Demi's sister, Madison De La Garza.
Right. Okay. So I knew. Remember, I said her
and
sister?
so Demi said, yeah, and Demi said, get a job, stay away from her. So her is the sister, but Get a Job is directed at Stalker Sarah.
Selena Gomez?
No.
And I think, are we done? Yeah, we're done. We're not going to play Who or Them today. We're going to finish this episode now. Thank you for listening to Who's There, our weekly call-in show. Call in 619 Who Them if you have any questions, comments, and concerns. What else is there to say? Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Buy tickets to our New Jersey show because our Brooklyn show is sold out at whoweekly.us. And support us on patreon.com/whoweekly if you want to get extra episodes and a weekly newsletter. We would love it. Also, we'll see you in, I don't know, a few days. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye.